On this edition of Datitude, BBQ, and more, we're going to make a delicious Asian stir fry. It's so easy to make. You don't want to miss this.
Datitude, barbecue, and more. Datitude, barbecue, and more.
Welcome back to Datitude, BBQ, and more. Tonight, we're going to make an absolutely delicious and yet so easy to make Asian beef stir fry. Before I get started, I want to give a summertime shout out to all my fifth graders, former fifth graders, I should say, getting ready to go into sixth and some of them into seventh and eighth grade. Miss you all, and I will be seeing some of you all as the school year gets started again, as we start up school very soon. Also, before we get started, you know what to do. That's right. You slap that bell, you hit the subscribe button, you give me a thumbs up, and you share this video with as many people as you can to get the word out on how easy it is to cook in the kitchen. Sometimes people just don't like to give it a try, but I can tell you this is going to be an easy recipe to make. Now, you know what the motto is on this channel, right? We're going to cut the flab and get straight to the meat. Well, tonight we're going to get straight to the recipe. So I wanted to give everybody kind of a look here on what I have going on. I've already pre-prepared some of it, cut it up and everything like that. So I have 1 pound of ground beef. I'm using an 80-20 mix on my ground beef. I like it that way. Some people might like an 85-15 or even a 90-10, depending on what you like. I've cut some green onion as some garnishment. I have some pads of butter to put in the skillets whenever I'm doing the cooking here in a second. I cut off the other end of the green onion to saute in the Asian beef stir fry. I also have eggs that have been scrambled up, and I'm going to be scrambling those and putting them in the Asian stir fry. I've got some soy sauce, and I've got some sesame teriyaki marinade. You can just use a regular teriyaki marinade as well, depending on what your preference is. I also have my induction cooktop. I love this because it gets hot very fast, and we can start cooking very quickly. So with all that being said, I also have a slotted spoon so it takes out the grease and just leaves us the meat at the end. So first things first, we're going to turn on the induction. We're going to let that heat up for just a second. And while it is heating up, I'm going to grab one more tool. This will be used to chop the meat. So you'll see how easy this is, how fast it is to melt the butter. I just turned the skillet on and you can see it's already getting hot. So that's a good thing. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to crumble the beef. Now, if you've ever made tacos at home, which I guarantee most of you who are watching have made tacos, it's the same process. You're just not adding the taco seasoning, you're adding the soy. Most of the time I would use Datitude seasoning, as you know on these videos, but with the soy sauce, that's going to add enough salt. I do not need any other seasoning. So I'm just going to go ahead and start crumbling the beef. And you know, this is not a, there's no art to this, right? We just crumble the beef up in here and start letting it cook. Matter of fact, I'll just do it faster than I normally do, just for time purposes on the video. You can see here on the secondary camera, it's already starting to cook. I love these induction tops, even more than just cooking on the stove, because they get hot so fast. And then I can turn it up if I need to. So, as we're crumbling all of this up, some people have asked me before, what kind of skillets do I use? Well, I definitely use non-stick. This is a hex-clad skillet, which is very nice. Gordon Ramsay uses these. I love these, actually. The other skillet I'm just going to use is a Curtis Stone skillet. He's also a pretty famous chef. So, we've got all that crumbled in there, and now I'm just going to actually turn it up on sear a little bit. And we're just going to start chopping the meat. We're going to get these down to crumbles, just like you would on taco seasoning. Or, I mean, taco meat is exactly what you would do. So, now, I am not going to make everybody sit here and watch me do this whole piece here. I'm going to go ahead and keep chopping it up. And once the meat is browned, we will come back and we will do the next step. So I'll see you soon. All right, welcome back. You can see that the meat is now pretty much browned up, and I've just continued to keep chopping it and have chopped it up into nice, almost like taco meat as we've talked about before. So the next step for me is I'm just going to add the onion that I cut off, the green onion there, and we're going to let that saute in for a little bit. And while we do that, I'm also going to spray in the soy. Now I really do wish that you could have a smell of this right now. It smells absolutely amazing. I did also want to mention, as I stir these onions around, that if you wanted to add rice to this, couscous or anything like that to go along with this dish, it would be great. It would be a true Asian dish. I am not doing traditional rice tonight, but I am going to do it in two different ways. You can put this right in a bowl, and you can also I'm doing it in an egg wrap tonight to get a little extra protein, and I'll show you how I do that here in just a little bit. So the next step is to take and I'm going to turn it down just a little bit here, take our sesame teriyaki marinade, and then we're just going to pour that in a little bit. Now, you know me. I like to be liberal with my sauces. I can't help it. And we're just going to stir that in a little bit. I'm going to let that cook and turn it up just a little bit more again. You stir all that together. You can see here on the close-up camera how that looks. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this simmer off to get some of the liquid boiled out of there. I'm going to let that simmer off for about 3 minutes. I'm going to keep stirring it, but I'm going to let it do its thing. When it's finished, we will come back, and then we will do the scrambled eggs. Now, I know everybody knows how to do scrambled eggs, but in the cooking tutorial videos, I do want to show how I do go about the whole process in the cook. And you can hear this beef just steaming up right now with all of those, all that sauce, the onions, the soy. It all comes together. So I'm going to let this simmer for about 2 or 3 minutes. Then we're going to do some scrambled eggs, and then we're going to put it all together. We're going to put the garnishment on top, and it is going to be absolutely fabulous. So I'll see you again in 2 or 3 minutes. All right, welcome back. I've put the meat off to the side for now, and now we're going to do the scrambled eggs. Now, everybody, I am sure, watching this video knows how to scramble eggs. It takes like 2 minutes, and it's so simple. But again, we're going to do it just as the tutorial. So I'm going to turn the skillet on. I've switched skillets, obviously. And I'd also have kind of a rubber spatula here to keep things stirred up. So we're going to put this one this time on high, or on medium, because we don't want to scorch the eggs. And of course, we're just going to go ahead and throw in the pat of butter because it's going to heat up pretty quick. And stir it around with the rubber spatula a little bit. Make sure that the pan is fully coated with that butter. Let that melt down for just a second. Now, the scrambled eggs, guys, is, simplest part of this recipe. As you can see, the other part was pretty simple. All right, we're going to let that heat up for just a second. And we're going to go ahead and pour the egg mixture in. And on the induction top, I may turn it up a little bit more. And I'm just going to keep stirring it. Like when we do eggs, and you can see on the close-up camera, we just want to keep the stirring process going. We don't want to let up on that. Now, I will let up just for a second so it can congeal, but I am going to keep on. I'm going to keep on stirring this up. And within, I would say, the next minute or so, it's really going to come together. Now, again, on the induction top, it's a little bit different than cooking on the stove. It's kind of a little bit of a learning curve on figuring out the heat and the right heat to do it as we turn it up just a little bit more. But you can see it's already starting to congeal. And we're just going to keep the stirring process. It is so important, guys, to just keep the stirring process going. Because if you don't keep the stir going, they're going to just kind of like burn up a little bit, and they're going to get a little bit scorched. This keeps them nice and liquefied. And you can see they're all starting to come together now. Now, what I'm going to do with this egg mixture after it congeals and it goes into true scrambled eggs, we are going to return the meat here to the induction top. Then we're going to add the scrambled eggs into the meat. Just makes it full of protein. If you're a protein lover out there, this is going to be maximum protein. You've got the ground beef and the egg all in one dish. And again, like I said, if you want to throw some carb in there, go ahead and throw your rice, your couscous, or whatever you prefer. And basmati rice is also amazing on this. Look at that. The scrambled eggs are looking fantastic. We're going to let these suckers cook for, I don't know, maybe another 30 seconds. And then we're going to get the show on the road, and we're going to put this whole plate together. Super excited about that, by the way. All right. I think that that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the induction top off. And when I come back, we're going to put all this together in a dish, put the garnishment on top, and of course, we're going to take a taste test. I'll see you soon. All right, welcome back. So I've got the scrambled eggs, as we can see here on the close-up camera. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the skillet back on high, and let that simmer up again. And we're literally just going to add the eggs into this, just like this. And then, of course, I'm going to chop those up a little bit finer. And then we're just going to stir it around a little bit in the skillet. Get those nicely mixed in there. You can see here on the close-up camera. I mean, it looks, I'm telling you right now, if you could smell this dish, I mean, it's like going to an Asian restaurant. And listen, for a fraction of the cost, I would submit to you that you could make this entire dish, depending on what kind of ground beef you get. I tend to get the organic, grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef. It costs like $7 a pound. But if you just get regular ground beef or ground chuck, honestly, you could do this entire dish probably for $10, less than $10, maybe around $10. Now listen, you're not going out to any Asian restaurant and getting this dish for $10, okay? So you do it at home, not only do you save money, but it's fun, right? You could do this with the whole family. So look at that. It's pretty much ready to go. Let that simmer off. Now, when I come back, we're going to plate this up, and I'm going to put one of them in an egg wrap and the rest of it in a bowl, and we're going to take a taste test. I can't wait for that, as you know. So I will see you soon. All right, welcome back. Now is my favorite time, the taste test. I am going to tell you this tastes so good because I've had it before. I just started creating this dish about 2 weeks ago. Made it 2 or 3 times. It's fantastic. You can see now on the close-up camera the garnishment. The green onion, it just makes the presentation pop. And that's what we're looking for when we're cooking. You know, great presentation, make it look delicious just like it is, right? Now, I told you I was going to do it 2 different ways. I do have an egg wrap right here, and I'm going to put some of this in the egg wrap. I'll wrap that up. I'm going to have it kind of like a burrito, like a beef Asian burrito. And we're going to do it like that. But before I do it like that, you know that I've got to dig in and give it a taste test. Yes, this is quintessential Asian. You can add as much soy as you want. You can take a little bit of the soy away if you don't like it salty. I highly recommend a sesame teriyaki marinade. I like the sesame taste to it, but if you just go with a regular teriyaki, that's great as well. This is fabulous. Listen, not to brag, but this is a 10 out of 10 dish, okay? I'm just saying. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this and put it out of the way. We're going to take the egg wrap and we're just going to wrap it up just like you would a burrito or a taco or however you want to eat it. I love egg wraps just because, again, there's still a little bit more protein for you. All right, there it is, wrapped up. Now we're going to take a taste test of this. To me, even better, because it's almost like having it in a tortilla shell, but I'm not getting the carbs with that. So if you're not big on carbs, you could do sugar-free teriyaki marinade as well, and you could also do an egg wrap like I'm doing tonight. So, guys, that's just about it. How easy was this dish? This is probably the easiest one I've made on Datitude thus far. So, with that being said, hope everybody enjoyed this. I hope you put your comments down in the comments section. Tell me if you've made the dishes or any of them that I've put on here so far. Really appreciate the support, guys. The channel is growing, but it can only grow if you share the videos and slap that bell, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and give some support to Datitude BBQ and more. I do this out of a labor of love. I love to cook, and I love to teach people how to cook. I think it's just super fun and super important to know. So, with that being said, I'll see you again soon on Datitude BBQ and more.
Datitude barbecue. He's the grilling dude. Datitude barbecue. You know how we do. Let it burn, smoking meats on that smoker grill. Clouds in the sky, you can smell the flavor in the air. Datitude.